What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Life in General podcast. My name's Nick.
And I'm Ian. Another episode. There hasn't been an episode in like a year.
It's been a solid couple months.
Yeah.
But we've had some issues. There've been some like technical issues. We did record a couple episodes. I put one episode out, and then we had I wasn't able to use the second episode because I wasn't able to clean the audio up, and then we were
Operator error.
Yeah, there's some issues going on. And then you were on your way over to record.
Yeah.
And then my son Jack like damn near sliced his hand in half at work. So I had to call you on the way to the ER, like, hey,
yeah,
can't record today. Like,
I mean, that was a situation that could be helped, obviously.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. He ended up needing like surgery to report.
And he's going to need like therapy too, right?
No, he went through physical therapy and stuff on his hand, but he had to have surgery done on his hand to repair the tendon was okay, but he had to repair nerves in his hand. So yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, he did a number to his hand, that's for sure. But
he did number 2?
Wah, 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 wah.
That's why we haven't recorded, because our jokes do not land.
My jokes are fine. Your jokes are shit. See what I did there? Bad joke.
Yeah.
But what's been going on, Ian? Yeah, it's been like 2 months, I think. Something like that. Maybe 3.
So I hadn't done a Friends rewatch in a long time.
Okay.
So I started doing that, and I got quite a few seasons in, but I started to realize that even though there's some really good stuff in those early seasons, the best stuff is pretty much from season 5 on. Maybe late season 4.
I don't know. I think most of the seasons are good.
Yeah, they're not bad. It's just like the best stuff, like the really good, funny stuff, I feel came in the, middle to the end more so than.
I can say, because I think the first 2 seasons were all about the whole, like,
Rachel.
Are they going to date, or what's, they're one's chasing the other one, and the other one's chasing the other one. And then they finally do get together, and then they're together for like a hot minute. And then I think after, when Ross and Rachel are dating, are probably not as good as it could have been. I think the show got funnier once they broke up.
Yeah.
Because I think you got a lot of great jokes from their breakup.
You're right. And maybe that's how I was, because that's like.
Because the whole we were on a break thing is still.
Well, season 4 ended with the 18-page letter.
Yeah.
And season 5, obviously, front and back.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's when it really got funny. And I mean, it was always funny. There was always like good stuff there, but I was sitting there watching. I'm like, eh. Anyway, I just got I started to feel like the stuff that I like really truly remember, and it could just because that's like the latter part of what I watch, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just find I enjoy the later seasons more than I enjoyed the first.
I will say that, and this might not be popular, I think seasons like 7 and 8 are probably my favorite seasons. And I know they're not for a lot of people.
Right. I think the last 2 seasons really just season 9 suffered just from that whole Rachel Joey thing.
Yeah. That was season 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this isn't a Friends podcast, but that's kind of the only thing that's really new with me. I also restarted watching New Girl,
which is okay show.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great show, but I've only done one watch through that. I figured I'd try and give it another go.
Yeah,
because my go-tos tend to be I'm either watching Friends, which again I haven't done in a while, or Modern Family. Yeah. I've rewatched Modern Family more than I've rewatched Friends.
I actually have never rewatched. I've never rewatched, if I can say the words correctly there, Modern Family.
Really?
I mean, I watched it when it was originally on.
Yeah.
I never went back and watched it.
It's a show. It's just, I find it even more comforting than Friends sometimes, honestly. Yeah.
There's great humor in it.
Yeah.
And it's not as troublesome, I guess.
There's moments there, but I think the characters are diverse enough where even if it's a little like cringy,
yeah,
it's it's like if it's a gay cringe, then it's coming from a gay character, so it's like it's okay.
I mean, I guess I really can't talk because one of my favorite shows of all time is Entourage, and that's like
as cringy,
probably the cringiest.
Yeah, but I think that's intentional. in the grand scheme of
I mean,
things.
and it is very much a have you ever watched
Bits
it?
and pieces. I never watched them.
It's very much a snapshot of, from what I understand, of what Hollywood was in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
early to mid 2000s.
And
And that's how what went on in Hollywood. That's how people talked in Hollywood. And yes, that's not how things go on, and that's not how people talk in 2026. You know,
wasn't the show kind of about like the entourage, the hanger-ons?
it was actually really loosely based on Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is the executive director of the entire series. It's based on
Let's
his
face it,
life.
he's problematic by himself.
Yes.
So
it's
I don't even think he's that great of an actor.
no, he's not. But it's loosely based on his life and his circle of friends.
Beating up Asian people.
No, there's none of that. But
there should have been.
There's a lot of problematic
language
and situations in the show.
And I get why people say that about Friends, because there's a lot of, I mean, it's not anti-gay or homophobic, but there's some gay jokes in there that by today's standards can be seen as homophobic, in the sense that
it was recorded in 1997.
I understand that, but it's like, you know, there's a lot of references to Chandler being gay, and he never it's not like, ooh, gay panic kind of a thing, but there are times where he protests a little too much, and not because he is gay, but because of the stigma of it.
Yeah.
So I will never I would never say cancel that, because it's problematic. It's problematic because of what it was, and at the time it was actually pretty woke by those standards. The standards of the day.
Yeah.
So
now look at me out. It seems like every other week I see an article about somebody else talking about how there's, the lack of diversity in the show and things like that, which it wasn't an issue really in the 90s.
No. And I feel like,
let me backtrack a little bit. It was an issue in the 90s. It just wasn't talked about as openly in the 90s.
No, and that's funny, because I feel like in some ways Hollywood has kind of taken that to an extreme. Not on this like massive woke level that the right seems to bitch about all the time. But my mom was watching this Hallmark show. She's been on this Hallmark kick. I don't know. But I was sitting there and I was watching it with her, and it starts out, now all the actors are non-white. I don't know, but they're all non-white. But the main character's mother owns a country western bar, and the mother's obviously African American. I'm like, okay, fine. An African American can own a country music bar, but it's not very likely. And of course, the guy walks in the cowboy hat, supermodel guy, and that dawned on me. This is the Hallmark Network trying to create diversity in a show, in a film, but trying not to alienate its base, which is basically white, close to middle-aged women.
Yeah, probably.
So it's okay to have the main characters people of color, but it's still got to be white enough. You know what I mean? Toned down.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, if you're gonna go to those lengths, if I hope it may have been completely accidental, but if you're just ticking boxes, that's a problem.
We've talked about it for years.
Yeah.
Don't force things.
Exactly. Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
If you want to see a positive gay couple on a show, just have a positive gay couple on a show. Yeah. But don't constantly be saying, we're positively gay.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Or every family doesn't need to be a white father, a black mother, 2 Asian foster children. Right. Like,
yeah, I mean, sure, those scenarios exist, and there's nothing wrong with having that represented, but not in everything.
Yes.
Because it's not indicative of the whole.
Yeah.
And you notice it is always a white man and a black woman, at least 99% of the time. It's very rare that it's the other way around.
I guess I don't really pay attention to it.
Because again, I feel like they're ticking boxes, but they're also like, well, we don't want to alienate the white men, because white men still apparently have issues with seeing a white woman with a black man.
The problem is always men.
It is. It is.
I don't want to sound like a woke feminist, but
Well, I feel like there's also, you could make the argument, yes, men were terrible, but women are pretty shitty too.
I think
It's just that
humans
men,
in general are pretty shitty.
yeah, and that's the thing. I'm almost to the point now where I feel like this kind of will get to our topic a little bit. This drive to identify everything and have an identity outside of yourself with a group.
Yeah.
And identity politics. I think it's gone extreme on both sides. And I really feel that is at the core of how we've gotten to where we're at.
Yeah.
I really do. I think because you've got one side who is on the surface trying to find a way to have people existing in a equitable way, having representation for everybody, having the same rights for everybody, no one being singled out or left out. And the other side has created their identity around fighting that.
See, I think that's not necessarily always the case, though. I think that for the most part, I think you have one side that's fighting against having any of that exist.
Right.
And then you have the other side
going to the
that
extreme
that wants to have it appear like they want to have inclusion.
Right. Yeah, it becomes it's catchphrases then.
Yeah.
It's a selling point. But it also, because the backlash from the other side who doesn't want any of that to exist, then this side goes 10 times farther in it, and to the extent that, you can't exist in the middle, because you can't no longer be in the middle. You have to pick a side.
Yeah.
And there's not very much on the right that I would ever side with, but I also don't go with a lot of the extreme levels that some of these other side that would be classified as woke. I don't like that word. I don't like what that word's become, because as a basic line, it's a good way to describe what we are looking for. Being awake, being able to see the world as it is and changing it for the better.
Well,
but it's become a negative word.
It's a pejorative, but
yeah,
that's, I guess, my issue with a large section of the Democratic side of the aisle is, I don't think most of them really give a rat's ass about
anything,
inclusion,
no,
diversity, any of that. It's all about,
it's a marketing tool.
It's and it always really has.
It's the same thing that,
because they've never put policies in place to help
not many of
anyone.
them. Sometimes they do. I mean,
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that have changed even over the last 30 years in terms of legislative drives towards equal rights for LGBTQ people. The civil rights have always been, for Black people have always been moving forward, but slower in some areas than others.
But
there
has been major gains, and that's since the 60s.
Right. Right.
The biggest gains that the LGBT community has gotten is from the Supreme Court.
That's true. That is true. And that's going to potentially.
And that wasn't legislation. That was
a
Supreme Court
hate crimes legislation has been helpful.
Yeah, a lot of that's been rolled back. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, you're right. I'm always reminded every Pride Month, every company in the world is all of a sudden is just full of rainbows.
Not so much anymore.
And it's gotten, it's diminished a bit, but I think that's because people are starting to realize it. But as second, July 1st hits, it's like, we don't care. Nothing's ever said about it.
But you know what?
Like,
it's also
Christians on Christmas Day.
It's also the same thing. It's like every company does that for
marketing,
everything, though.
Well, you're right. Yeah. But
they do the same thing. Yeah, it's hollow when they do that for Christmas. It's the same thing when they do it for Halloween. It's the same thing when they do it for 4th of July. It's the same thing when they do it for any other kind of celebration.
Right.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing. I think a lot of people lose sight of businesses.
Well, that you're right. And it really wasn't my point. My point is
Yeah.
that the Democratic Party specifically, when it comes to LGBTQ, is this kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
They bring it out when they have to, and they don't do anything about it any other time of
Yeah.
their existence.
They roll it out around elections.
And that's I guess we could get into the topic.
Well, I did want to get to one thing real quick
Okay.
because I just thought about something before. Speaking of businesses, I don't know if you've been following any of this stuff that's been going on the last like week with, I think it was Alternative Press, Brooklyn Vegan, Revolver. I think it was one of their online publications.
There's a publication called Brooklyn Vegan.
Yeah.
They've
been around for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
Over the course of the past week, they've been like gutted.
By whom?
So the Benji and Joel Madden, who are the lead singer and guitarist for Good Charlotte, 10, 15 years ago, I don't remember how long ago it was, they started a company called Veep, who were, I think it started out as like a music streaming service. They also did like music ticketing. A couple of years ago, they bought up several of, I think, those 4 publications. Revolver, Brooklyn Vegan. I don't remember who the 4th one was. Alternative Press. I think Golden Ticket, something like that. One of them's been around since like the 70s.
Well, there's Goldmine.
That's what it is. That was the other one. Goldmine's been around since the 70s for a long time. So they bought all 4 of them. Shortly after they bought them, Veep was bought by Live Nation.
Okay.
51%. So majority of Veep is now owned by Live Nation.
Right.
And the Madden brothers own the other 49%. So those 4 publications they went in, they fired all the editorial staff last week. And people are like up in arms.
Right.
And I understand, like, I feel bad for people who lost their jobs, but like, first off, my first reaction was, and of course, people making videos about this online. People are all over social media about it, or they're calling out. There's several like music labels that are calling out Good Charlotte. People are attacking Good Charlotte on there. My first thing was like, I think it's premature to first off attack the Madden brothers, because as minority owners, I don't know if they had any say at all in what happened.
So these publications were owned by Veep?
Yes.
And then, of course, okay, so...
And Veep is majority owned by Live Nation.
I mean...
So my first reaction was like, first off, I think everyone... I didn't say anything about it.
Right.
Because I was like, I think everyone should be just kind of wait till everything comes out about it first. Let's find out exactly what happened first. And then kind of say your piece about it.
I would want to know why. Like, they're firing all these people because they're going to basically just...
It's a corporate restructuring.
Yeah, but that can mean many things.
Yeah.
Because when you say restructuring, it could legitimately be a restructuring, or it could just be we're firing everybody because we're just going to let these publications fade into dust, And to be fair, publications, even online publications, are going away. Yeah. I'm surprised Rolling Stone is even still around, to be honest with you. Mainly because of their editorial staff probably should be fired.
They're not great.
Get some fresh blood. But that's the thing. If that's what they're doing, getting some fresh blood in there. But are they? Because what would be the point to do the whole staff? You kind of start from the top and just do a few people at a time until you get your happy, well, this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Live Nation. They're a ticket seller, much like Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Well, they're owned by, they own Ticketmaster.
Okay. Have they owned Ticketmaster as long as Ticketmaster has been basically the devil?
Yes.
Okay. Then it's probably going to be a problem, because I can't see any other reason why they would do the whole staff, because it just doesn't make sense. That being said, again, especially in music, there's so many other ways to find stuff out. Even artists on labels who have the backing of a label still do most of their own advertising through Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. You don't really need the magazines anymore.
No. But and those kind of where my thoughts went with it too. So I had posted on the Facebook group a Good Charlotte album that I was listening to, because one of their albums just got reissued, just got pressed on vinyl for the first time ever. It came out in 2010, so 16 years I've been waiting for this album to get pressed on vinyl. So I posted about it, and of course I got some comments
because of that.
And it was the first thing I really said about it, and I was like, and I said, I think what I said, Rob, was something along the lines of, it's business people doing business things. First off, I said, everyone should probably wait till everything comes out. And let's
the
see
dust settle and see what happens.
Yeah. But I said, it's not 2006 anymore. So, digital journalism has been struggling for a very, very long time.
And print journalism is almost non-existent.
Yes. I said everyone has been running on thin margins for a very, very long time. This is not the first time it's happened. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the last time it happens. I feel sorry for the people that lost their job, but
this is an industry that there is still other journalistic media out there that these people can go work at. It's not like there's no other job.
Yeah.
But also, maybe this is a good thing, because if you think about it, in the 70s and even into the 80s, primarily, you had a few music publications.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone was always the dominant.
Well, you had a few, but you had a couple big ones.
And New Music, NME and Melody Maker. But those were all small potatoes, really, in terms of overall. But what you did also get out of that was you had these individual people creating little magazines in their basement at a time when you didn't have home printing and computers and everything, for like punk music.
Yeah.
And death metal and stuff that wasn't very, very mainstream.
Yeah. Oh, like the fanzines and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that none of those people made millions out of it, but maybe that's the next thing. Yeah. And this could be a good way to get that started.
Yeah.
Let's get some of these journalists who have been in the mainstream world for so long. Maybe we should hear their real voice.
Yeah.
And see what they can do. Because you don't need to print these things out you could just start a website, start a fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I used to work for Alternative Press, and just now you're going to get my views, my opinions, my referees.
And there's lots of people that do that. There's, there's been people that have been fired from like ESPN and things like that have gone on and had very successful YouTube careers.
Okay.
So yeah, I pulled up my comment for what I said. So this is what I said verbatim. I said, sometimes when people own businesses, they make business decisions. Also, Live Nation is majority owner of Veeps, not the Madden brothers. So they might not have even had a say in any of it. Even if they did, if you have businesses that aren't profitable, sometimes you have to make changes, even if they aren't popular moves. And someone commented back and said, what did he say? He said, that's a bad take. Why? Because it's a business.
It is.
It sucks. Like I said, it sucks. It sucks that people lost their job. But at the end of the day, it's a business. And we work for a hospital. It's also a big fucking business. And we see it all the fucking time. We've had this conversation for a fucking decade now.
Yeah.
We see shit that we know is not in the best interest of patients. But we understand that those decisions get made because it's also a business.
Right. I mean, and I guess argument for them, because like you said, they're minority shareholders.
Yeah.
But also the businesses that they've downsized. I mean, how many people are we really talking about?
I don't know.
It couldn't be that many.
It might be because I think they're like the whole network of journalists and stuff.
Okay. But also, these are, as you've pointed out, the profit margins on these publications, these businesses, separate from the shareholders, have been losing money and losing steam for a long time.
Yeah.
It's the argument shouldn't be, oh, they're laying off all these journalists from these companies that aren't making money.
Yeah.
The argument should be for all these big corporations that are making huge profits and laying off people.
Yeah.
That's the real issue. And that kind of, again, ties to what we're going to talk about in our topic, because there's no two thoughts in your head, people. You can have them. You can carry two opposing thoughts in your head at the same time.
A lot of people can't. A lot of people
apparently not.
A lot of people don't understand nuance.
Right. That's the biggest problem. And to be fair, I've been guilty of not noticing nuance. I've done it, but I try to change that. I've tried to work towards that. And now that I feel like I can see nuance, it's like, where's everyone else at? Why is nobody else seeing this?
Yeah. I think a lot of times, and I get it, because a lot of people, especially in a situation like that, where independent journalism like that in the music industry has been under attack for a long time, when you see something like that happen, you can't have an emotional response to it. And I get that. I understand that. But you have to step back. When you are the head of a music label, you can't come out and attack people like there has been over the last several days. You have to be able to step back from the fucking situation and fucking think about it. Like, if this was Mike and Joe, and they owned, a widget company, and they bought up a widget magazine company, and they ended up firing people that work at the widget magazine company, take music out of the equation.
Right.
If it's just a business buying another business, and that business isn't making money,
so
what's the point of you have to make a change.
Right.
You have,
because the alternative would have been, now in this case, that there might still be an alternative press and all those other magazines, but if they were left alone, they would have disappeared on their own.
Yeah. Now, and it might all come out that it's not money related,
or it's only money related. It could turn out that they were wrong to do it, but
and very much, and that's why I said, wait, let's wait to see whatever that comes out at before we start attacking people. Live Nation does not have a very great, reputation.
No,
we understand.
I wasn't sure about,
but
I don't just take. They tend to laser focus on Ticketmaster when it comes to all that garbage.
But just because Live Nation does not have a great reputation doesn't mean they're in the wrong every single time.
Right.
So let's just wait and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it sucks. And I will join in the criticizing of that company if it turns out that it was just, we just want more money.
Yeah. And it's not just because it's Good Charlotte and I'm a fan of the band. If it was any fucking band, if it was anybody running Veeps, I would feel the same way about it.
Yeah. And I don't have
I understand that's a business, and business decisions get made. A lot of times people don't understand or agree with those decisions, but you can't, if you're owning a business and the business is not profitable, as much as people love, those publications and have enjoyed those publications and have had a long-standing relationship with those publications for decades, you as the owner can't own that and continue to own it in the same fashion and not turn a profit on it.
Right.
You're not doing it for the good of the country,
right,
or the good of the music fan.
And like I said, maybe
you're not going to lose money on it.
Right. This is an opportunity. If any of these people who've been in the industry, I mean, I'm assuming they're not laying off newbies. They're laying off people who've been with these publications for
a long time.
For a long time. Yeah. They know how it works. Start your own magazine.
Yeah.
Start your own online thing.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge to do it. I wouldn't say that to to people who've been laid off again by a corporation. It's like, oh, we're going to cut half our workforce because our CEO needs another bonus, kind of thing.
I think it's different in this situation. When it's creation content like that, like it's you have to understand that the market has been moving that way for 15 plus years.
Right.
Like,
well, the internet has changed everything, and then publications in general.
social media has changed.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, actually, in many cases, not all cases, but many cases, social media has replaced that market.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like I don't have any skin in the game as far as Good Charlotte goes. I like them as a band, but I'm not a.
It's it's irrelevant to the conversation.
And that was my point. I had to say that just because, I would much like you. I'd much rather see, first of all, why did they do it?
Yeah.
What is their plan going forward? And if they have a plan going forward that is about creating something new with those, if they can bring something new to the table, and because they've been there with those companies already, sure, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about fucking corporations.
Yeah.
I do not like them.
Yeah.
Even some of the ones that I might work for. So, but yeah, anyway, I feel like it's, and we've been talking about it tonight, even before we recorded this. It's just people getting angry of stuff that they don't understand, just to be angry, just to criticize, and they don't really see what damage they could potentially be doing.
I think a lot of times people hyper focus on one aspect and fail to look at the big picture sometimes.
Right.
And I think politicians do the same goddamn thing.
I think politicians do it intentionally, though, in the grand scheme. But the people who are politically active, who are like us, but even maybe a little farther, they're the ones who narrow view of things and see things only through their little telescope.
Yeah.
And again, that's what we could talk about that with because that's a big part of what I was going to bring up with that too.
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to say about the Live Nation Veeps thing. It just I just thought it was kind of interesting the way that people really prematurely kind of jumped on all that.
Right. But don't get me wrong, I would much rather have just talk to people on the street that don't agree with me and have those conversations.
Because Ian, people can't fucking talk anymore. That's the problem, man. It's like I think that's a big social media is a big problem with that.
I think they can. They're just told they shouldn't.
No, people can't.
You can't.
This is why
use social media. Social media is a wall of
I'm gonna tell you why, and this is why social media is such a big part of it. Is people don't know why they think certain things, because they think certain things because they're told by personalities, influencers on social media that that's how things are.
Right.
But they can't explain it beyond that. So they don't want to have conversations about it because they don't know beyond the headlines.
Right. And I've run into people like that.
I know.
But I don't think there's situations. I've never had a situation where I have had a political conversation in public that was like overly contentious. Like, yeah, okay, your point. I see your point, but it's wrong. And okay, there's the conversation has always been civil.
Yeah.
Never had a not uncivil conversation about politics in public. But you can have those online all day long. And that's all it is online. It's uncivil.
Well, because even if you're like a overly intimidating person, people generally don't want to, tell you to fuck off in person.
Yeah,
that's just the truth.
I mean, I would if someone was blatantly racist or homophobic, I would tell them to fuck off.
But generally, people aren't going to do that to your face.
I mean, I would to those people's faces.
No. I'm saying like generally those people aren't going to say things like that in a conversation like that.
Not generally. You're right.
They would say that online.
Right. Well, that was
but they're not going to say that.
That was my question about if we could have these conversations in public, because people are guarding themselves in terms of what they're going to say. Maybe they'll hear what you're saying more, or vice versa. Maybe you'll hear something. Maybe that there is some truth to there, something to look at around that in public. we have that civility.
I've just come to the realization that regardless of what you say to people, 99.9% of the people out there, regardless of what you say and the evidence you present to them, they aren't going to change their mind.
If you could talk to 30 people in a year and 2 people actually think about what you say, that's a huge accomplishment.
I would be floored. I would be floored if you found 2 people that would even consider changing their opinion. All
right. I'm thinking, not changing it completely, but I mean, stop and think. Just stop and think. That's what I do. I never take anything I hear at face value. I stop and I think. And if I hear it and it sounds true, I won't pass it along as truth until I know for sure. I just think. Critical thinking.
I told somebody at work a couple of days ago when they were going on about some bullshit meme that I thought was obviously fucking fake online. Yeah. I told them, like, everything is fake.
Yeah.
Oh, everything I see online is fake. Like, I assume everything is fake.
Yeah.
None of it's real.
Well, until you've confirmed it.
Yeah. Like,
because you could cross over to everything's fake. It's the Matrix or whatever.
No.
You could cross the line there.
I mean, like,
it's a very definite statement that, is sort of true.
Everything you read online.
Everything we read online is filtered through something.
Something.
For sure. 100%. Yes. That's why you have to filter yourself. Filter things through yourself. It's just critical thinking.
But people don't want to take
the effort.
The less than 30 seconds that it takes
to Google something.
Google's
fake too.
Google's fake. Yeah, it's all fucking AI now.
Yeah.
Google's an AI search engine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, are we too far gone? Maybe not as a species, but definitely as a society.
For what?
How do we come back from that?
I don't think we do. I think we evolved to something better.
But that's the thing. How do we evolve to something better when we've taken so many steps back?
We all die, and the younger generation learns from us. That's how we.
That's one way, but
that's how we get better.
Statistically, the younger generations are no longer surpassing us; they're underperforming us.
That's the generation. I'm talking like years from now, a couple generations.
So is it that a couple generations have to go so low that everything is a step up from there? Is that what we're talking about?
We've talked about this before. The fourth turning, I think, is what.
I don't remember all the details.
It's like four generations that basically have revolved over time. I don't remember the exact, but it's a book. If you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, just Google it. The fourth turning. But we're now at, I forgot what stage we're at now, but this has happened time and time again over the last, hundreds of fucking years. Like what we're going through now has happened before. We have gotten better. We've recovered from this. We will recover from this again.
Yeah.
It will just take time.
As long as the planet doesn't burn up.
We will get better. We will recover. It will just take time.
Yeah. But historically speaking, at least in terms of these civilization cycles that we're talking about, no other time in those cycles has the planet been on fire. Literally on fire.
It will get better, Ian.
Okay.
We will recover.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm glad I'm not going to live to see a planet that no longer has trees and no longer sees winters, or at the very least sees days below 80.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't think we're going to get to that.
That's literal. That would be my literal hell.
We won't get to that point.
So I hope not. I really hope not. I'm glad that I won't live long enough to see whether or not we do, though. Because I'm not so sure.
I mean,
I don't want to be a doomsayer, but logically speaking, I don't have to worry about it because
eventually, yes, Ian, you're right. Eventually we will, like millions of years from now.
Oh, yeah. This will not be around in a million years. There's no way. Not, at least not as we are now. Look at what we weren't even around a million years ago.
No.
And that's
no. I mean, if you think about it now, realistically, modern humans have only existed for 150 years.
Right.
So.
150 modern.
Modern.
Industrial
So,
humans.
yes.
Humans as we sit
that's what
now
I
are
mean by
like,
modern.
more like 150,000.
That's what I mean by modern.
Yeah, but 150,000 years as humans.
Industrialized.
Industrial. About 200 now, I think. Let's say about 200 years. 1826. They were starting, automation was starting to.
I'm saying like post Civil War, like 1870s, 1880s. Yeah. That's like, the dawn of modernized civilization.
Okay.
It was the late 1800s.
Yeah, we got some growing to do.
Yeah. We're still in the infancy of our civilization.
We're still in the infancy of our species.
I know that. And that's why I said, yeah, as far as like climate change and things like that, yes, we are like on this like doomsday path. But that doesn't mean something doesn't change that, alter that in some way.
It's hard to be optimistic when you see how many people are literally fighting against it and why they're fighting against it. Fighting against,
honestly, regardless, one way or another, we won't be here to see the end result.
But I mean, it's just, I understand that not, if you go back 50 years, there were scientists who were saying the planet was cooling and that we were going to have a new ice age because of human interaction.
Yeah.
Which I would have preferred. But
not me.
I know, not you. But
it's already fucking cold enough as it is.
I'll build you a fucking oven. You can jump right in.
Something happens to Mandy. I already told her I'm going somewhere warm.
Well, it was nice knowing you. Because I'm not following you. I can barely stand being in Michigan in the summertime anymore.
Probably,
I remember it being this hot when I was a kid.
I'd probably end up Southern California, but
yeah, it might still be too hot for me. But
it's like 75 year round.
I don't know about that. Well, I'll look at that after we're done recording.
San Diego. Yeah, it's like 75 year round.
Year round.
Yeah.
They haven't had the big triple digit numbers that the rest of California's had.
Huh.
Why that one spot?
So Southern California is.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, I'm more like Alaska where it's 65 and then it can be really cold. I don't want it warmer than 65 if I can help it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I think I actually forgot where I was going with it. I lost my point. You talked me out of my point. Whatever that was.
Damn it.
You're the one who kept throwing things at me. I've got an old man brain.
What the hell are we even talking about?
I don't know. We're just old men shaking our fists.
I know. We've talked so long. We only had time to talk about our topic now.
Our topic was what's going on with the Democrats.
I know they're fucked. No, they're
not.
Actually,
I think
they're in a really good position.
No, I think the traditional Democratic Party either needs to be fucked and change its ways, or it will be eventually.
They already are.
Very slowly and not enough. And the people who are still in control of the party are still they're the problem.
November is going to be really interesting. I think
very interesting.
At first, I thought the second Civil War was going to start in November.
Still could.
It still could, but Trump's poll watchers, quote unquote poll watchers, there was like 4 of them because he sent them to Michigan for the.
I didn't see any, but I voted very early.
I think there was only 4 of them that were in the state, and they were all like super nice and like.
So
they did absolutely nothing. So prior to that, I thought there were going to be like armed guards and things like that. There was none of that.
So where my polling place has changed 3 times in the last 10 years. It went from being our old elementary school to a Catholic church, now a very, very small, I'm assuming fundamentalist Baptist church, but it seems like my polling place is getting smaller, and I don't understand that. But I didn't see any poll watchers. But I went at literally 8:00 in the morning to vote.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know where I don't even know where I vote.
Did you vote by mail?
Yeah.
I still like going. To me, it's. I mean, I feel it's anticlimactic to go because you just walk in, you fill your thing, go home. But I don't know. There's just something, I don't know. I just like going in and doing it. I could vote by mail. I don't have a problem with it. I just prefer to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have voted early too, but I
don't vote by mail. I take my ballot and drop it in the box at the
City Hall.
Yeah.
But I still like just going to the polling place on election day. I don't know. I probably always will until I can't.
Yeah.
So, or until
I can't tell you last time I voted in person.
Well,
It's been a long time.
I've always voted in person. Like I said, I don't like.
Obviously, it was before 2020. Like,
yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, to be fair, you may not be able to if people get their way down the road, but I don't see that happening. There's too many people on both sides who do it, who vote by mail.
I mean, they passed the SAVE Act. That's part of the SAVE Act.
Is that?
Yeah.
It got passed?
No. It passed the House, but
it won't pass. Well,
it won't pass the
Tom Blanche's got confirmed.
Yeah.
Or Todd Blanche, whatever the fuck his name is.
As far as like November goes, I think there's a lot of really interesting progressive candidates that won primaries for the Democrats. I'm really excited about. There were some Democrats I was really happy to see lose.
Yeah.
Some incumbent Democrats I was happy to see.
Especially here in Michigan. I mean, I was happy to see Haley Stevens go. I'm happy to see Sri Tanadar go.
Yep.
Because you know when he started, I liked him. He had a good story. I mean, but he's done nothing.
Yeah.
He's done fuck.
That's the thing. That's what the Democrats have done for 40 fucking years
or more. Yeah, I know.
I shouldn't say that. The Democrats have done some good things over the last, 20 plus years, but not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
And even the things that they've done have been half measures.
Yeah.
I
remember somebody posted something. I work with somebody who's rather conservative.
No.
I know that. Big surprise. Who posted something about Abdul El-Sayed on Facebook. And I don't remember what it was, but it was something stupid. It was some bullshit that wasn't even real. It was some made up bullshit, AI bullshit that was going viral. Yeah. It was a while back. And I remember commenting something along the lines of that our health, there's, as people that have worked in healthcare for a long time, we know that there are big problems in our healthcare system.
The whole system. The whole system's flawed.
And she's worked in healthcare for a lot longer than I have. She's been a nurse for a long fucking time. So she knows just as well as I do. There are serious problems that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
The only way that anything gets addressed is by voting in people that actually want to make a change. Right. Voting in the same people that want to do the same goddamn thing that we've done for 70 fucking years does nothing.
And I think that's,
even if you don't like what he wants to do, we need to try something.
Right. That's my view on it too, because status quo isn't working.
No.
So for some reason though, that dynamic that you're talking about really only works for the Democrats or hurts the Democrats. Republicans don't give a shit because they don't do anything anyway.
Yeah.
And I hate to be partisan about it, but that's just everything they do is to benefit them and rich people. That's it. And they've never hidden that.
Because Republicans have no empathy. That's why.
Right.
Republican voters have no empathy.
Right. It's me. And even
so it doesn't fucking matter.
Even when they say that it's me, they're still voting against their own best interest.
Well, it's not, because they have no best interest. So, because they don't fucking care.
Yeah, but how, what about the ones that are on benefits and they're voting for people who are take those benefits away?
Because they don't care, just as long as brown people get hurt more than them.
You're right, I know, but my point is that on the Republican side, it does new old, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But with the Democrats, it does matter, because we've got people who sit there and will go out and talk about all the fucking problems. But again, they just do half measures and talk, or no measures at all, and they blame it on the fact that the Republicans are outvoting them. They're outvoting them because you're ineffectual in doing what you're doing, and you don't know how to fucking win an election.
Yeah.
And that's all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. And when you do win an election, you do nothing.
Do nothing. Sri Tanadar, perfect example. He could have
Hakeem Jeffries, all of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're all, once they're there, they're just status quo. I hate using that word so much. It's almost cliche, but
It's true.
It's true. Haley Stevens was a good candidate in 2009 or whatever when she ran. She's not anymore.
Yeah.
Or when she was,
it
was after. It was
like
2016. But anyway, regardless, she was a good candidate then. I voted for her whenever that was. But she's done nothing. She has done nothing. Alyssa Slotkin is just talk. She's done nothing.
Yeah.
And she's wants to run for president? No. I can't speak for Gavin Newsom, but I feel like he's kind of the same thing too. Although I feel he may have done more in California than.
I think he's done. Actually, I think he's done a pretty decent job in California. But
yeah, I don't know. I would guess I'd have to look at it, but it's like I said it before we were recording. I said we'll see if the Democrats really push for Gavin Newsom. Then I'm done. I'll still vote for them, but I'm not calling myself a Democrat.
Well, it's not really pushed for. It's who we fucking vote.
Yeah, but it is pushed for too. I mean, it may not look like it, but they do. They do. They have their. Hillary did not run because the people wanted her to run. She ran because it was her fucking turn, and that was a party thing. Same thing with Biden. It was his fucking turn. That's how it was. That's how it went down. It doesn't matter if they really pushed it.
I think that's the perception, but I don't know if that's the reality.
Well, I that's what I see. I think that's what I see.
In 2008, I think,
because she stepped down, but she stepped down with a lot of concessions that were given to her because it was her turn.
No, I think because she was the best candidate
in 2008. Apparently, Obama was.
Let me finish what I was saying.
Okay,
she was the best candidate in 2008 outside of Barack Obama. It was those two by a fucking mile. And she had been the best candidate for a long time. And even early on in the primaries, she was destroying everybody in the field.
Yeah.
And then Obama came up and kind of overtook the lead and then never looked back.
Right.
So I kind of understand why concessions were made there. Because she had such a big following. And she had such a big voter base. And the fact that she was Hillary fucking Clinton.
Right.
So she has that Clinton name that comes along with her. Biden in 2020 was not the best candidate.
No, but it was.
But he was. No, it wasn't even the fact that it was his turn. Biden in 2020 was not the best candidate. Biden in 2020 was the only one that could beat Donald Trump.
Oh.
And if it wasn't for COVID, he wouldn't have done that.
Right.
But nobody else was going to beat him. Nobody else was going to beat Donald Trump.
Interesting. We'll see.
Because of Joe Biden's ties to the Obama administration is what gave him the edge over every other candidate in the field.
I guess
there was probably four other people I would have preferred over Joe Biden in 2020.
Well, I guess let me just put it this way, then we can wrap it up. But so if we know, and we're seeing it every day with these primaries, that the Bernie coalition is popular. But if they do to those candidates what they did to Bernie going forward, it's obvious the Democratic Party has stopped trying.
It's not going to happen. Because I think come November, there's going to be too many of them.
Let's hope.
Because even with everything the Republicans did in Texas, Indiana, Florida,
gerrymandering.
Yeah. Even with them getting those extra seats, more than likely Democrats are going to take control of the House.
Let's hope. They need the Senate though too. They need
That's
probably more.
That's probably not going to happen. That's an uphill battle. And that was always going to be an uphill battle. Even like Abdul has to win in Michigan.
Yes. And that new guy in Maine has to win too. Susan Collins has to
It's not going to happen though. I don't think I think Susan Collins is going to win in Maine. I know that. I know. I think Abdul has a really good shot in Michigan.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of his for a long fucking time. Even when he ran for governor, I really liked him.
Yeah.
I just like
progressive candidates.
Yeah.
And who just tell the truth. Even if it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, they're just real. I mean, I know that's, again, we're talking cliches here, but Abdul hasn't said anything that I wouldn't have said.
Yeah.
Now he's got to make it happen, or at least show he's trying. But he hasn't said anything that I wouldn't have said in his place.
Yeah. And I like the fact that he's campaigned with Hassan Piker, who can be polarizing. And when asked about it, Abdullah said, look, I don't agree with everything that everyone says,
right,
but I could find common ground with anybody.
Except,
well,
I think, but that's not his fault.
No,
that's not his fault.
But there's common ground between him and Hassan Piker on lots of things.
Right.
But when Hassan Piker says things like, the U.S. deserved 9/11, things like that get tied to Abdul,
right,
even though
that was all over social media.
I know that, and people don't,
after
and people completely took that out of context. Also, I was talking to Mandy about that a while back. It's like people really don't understand what he was talking about when he said that. But
that
or there, but
9/11
is still even 25
years.
Yeah, 25
years
25 years later, it's still touchy with a lot of people, which I get it. I mean,
I guess I don't know,
but
at this point, it's like
we should be able to have at 25 years later, we should be able to have a conversation about what this country did leading up to the foreign policy decisions decades before that led up to that happening.
Right. Well, and even on a
but we still can't talk about that.
Well, we can.
We can, but because we're fucking nobodies.
Well, the thing is that we should also be looking at just the brief time since 9/11, the things we've done that has led to a genocide in Gaza.
No.
And talking about two thoughts in your head at the same time, that's not anti-Semitic. That's anti-Israel.
I know that.
Government.
I know.
Because it's the government that's killing people. It's not the religion.
That's the other thing that Abdullah gets hammered on all the time too, and people don't understand that
there's two thoughts.
There's two different things.
Two thoughts.
The Israeli government is one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The Jewish state or the Jewish identity is that's different.
There's Jewish people, and then there's the Israeli government.
Well, you also have to understand that we're in a country where, for a lot of people, there's no separation for them. This is, it's a Christian nation, and you're an American Christian. That to them, it's the same fucking thing. So I can see why it would be hard for them to understand that that's different. But it is kind of the same thing in Israel, but it's not the point. If I see something negative against America, I'm not saying anything negative against Christianity, and vice versa. If I'm saying something negative about Israel, it's not because they're Jewish. It's because they're a government that's doing stupid shit and hurting people.
Yeah. I mean, if I want to say something negative about Christianity, I'd just say something negative about Christianity. But
I would too. Nick, I have.
I know.
Many, many times.
I know. I'm religious and I say it.
Yeah. And I'm not. So I do anyway. But I'm an equal opportunity negative towards religion because I don't, specifically the Abrahamic faith. So I dislike Jews, Christians, and Muslims equally.
I think the Democratic Party is at a very good place, actually, though.
Let's hope. I'm not as positive, but I have fluctuated. Like leading up to the primary, I know the polls were close, even leading up to, but I just felt like there was like a grassroots groundswell for Abdul, and I was very positive. I was actually feeling really good. and he won, and I was excited. But then literally within hours of him being announced that he won, all I was hearing was, he hates America. He's a terrorist.
Look, people think that, but and this is why I guess we'll close on this because we're running a lot longer than I wanted to. But this is the one thing that reminds me a lot of. It reminds me a lot of Obama when he was first starting out in like 2006, 2007. Is because a lot of people had a lot of those same kind of comments about Barack,
Oh, I know.
and
because of
calling him because of his name and things like that.
Which I never understood. Real quick, they would call him a Muslim, but then criticize his black Christian pastor.
I know that.
I'm just putting it out there
because people aren't very bright.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing though. When people went out there, when Obama went out there and talked to people, things changed. Abdul does the same thing.
Yeah.
When Abdul goes out and talks to people, they no longer have those same opinions. Right. So we'll see. We'll see how it all happens. We'll see what November looks like. I'm really positive, though. I think they're going to win. I think Democrats are going to win the House. I think the Senate's going to be really, really close. We'll see what ends up happening.
Hey, I mean, they really need to win the Senate, but they're not going to, even if they win the Senate, we're talking like 1 or 2 votes tops. And with the way things are, you need a supermajority for anything to get done anyway. But
no,
it might.
No, you don't.
Well, you technically don't.
No, yeah.
Technically don't. But also technically, if you're a senator who's been dead for 2 months,
because
your seat gets moved on.
The big beautiful bill was passed through reconciliation. You don't need to have a supermajority.
Well, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that you don't need or aren't supposed to be, but they are. Like I said, you got a dead senator who's still in office.
No, he was discharged. He was discharged home.
Well, yeah.
He was discharged.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Discharged with there.
But anyway, I guess we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Any I guess you just drop us a comment. I was gonna say questions or comments you can email us.
Kind of went all over the place.
You can't really email us because we don't have an email. So I think there is an email address. I don't remember what it is though. It's ligpod@gmail.com.
Something like that. You used to ask me to say it every episode. I was like, I don't know what it is. Every episode.
A long time though. We've done like, I don't know, we started this podcast like, I don't know how many years ago?
January 2017.
So 9 years ago?
9.5 years ago.
Long time ago. We're coming up on 10 years, a decade.
I know.
A decade of life in general.
We should do something special. Like just
an episode.
That would be kind of special. No, I was thinking we just prop up skeletons in place of us and just talk from behind them.
Make sure you drop us a comment. I don't know, give us a thumbs up and all that YouTube-y kind of stuff. But I don't know, you want to close the comments from Ian?
No.
All right. Well, until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Peace.